During the pandemic, mothers had to reduce their work hours by 4 to 5 times more than their male counterparts. In just a matter of months, 11 million jobs were lost to women, which erased a decade of progress that women had made in the workplace. The work that I do to help women, but anybody, to become virtual assistants, it is not just about like laying back by the beach and being a cool digital nomad, although that is fun when you can do that. It's actually all about women's empowerment. Earning our own income, having a lack of childcare, having a lack of affordable childcare has been a huge part of my mission for the last 10 years and the 5,000 people around the world that I have helped to be able to move into virtual assistant work, which is flexible and you can do it on any type of schedule, which is awesome, right? But there is a way to actually make this work. The idea of, oh, my kids will just play next to me while I type on my laptop, it's not real life. Let me give you some actual tangible steps to make it work for you. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you 6 sneaky places that you can find childcare, free childcare, except for one of the options, free childcare when you need it most. First things first, you need a remote job that is actually flexible and isn't just remote. That means that you're still chained to a desk, you're still answering chats and phone calls, you're at a whole bunch of team meetings all the time. That doesn't mean that you can have your kids home with you. It doesn't mean that like, oh, they're sick, or oh, it's a holiday, like no big deal, I could work, my kids are next to me, or we got to run these errands today. That's not the type of job that's for you. The type of job that's for you that you're looking for is something that's flexible, that you can do around your children's schedule, so that anytime that they need to be homesick, or it's a holiday, or you just want to be a stay-at-home parent for the most part, you can still do those things. So part of this is knowing what type of job and what type of company that you're looking for and ensuring that you're looking for the right type of position. It's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about virtual assisting, because it really is the best of both worlds. You get like the pros of the online business where you get flexibility, no boss, no limit to your income. You get to do things that you enjoy, but you also get a regular paycheck. You have normal working hours. You can work whenever you want to, but you get the consistent money, health insurance, things like that. It's a really cool mix between the two. Business owners don't care when you work. They just care that you get the work done. So if you're doing it while your kid is sleeping next to you, if you're doing it while your kid's nursing, I've done that. If you're doing it while you're on the beach in Bali or working from the pool, I've done all of those things. Then you can still do that. But how do you make this happen? And how do you actually get work done when you have children running all around, right? I told you that that dream of like, oh, I'll just tap away while my kids are next to me isn't real life. But what is real life? How can we actually make this work for ourselves? Number one tip I have is to create a family schedule for yourself. I know there's going to be some flexibility in this, and I actually thought everybody did this until I started hanging out with more moms and more stay-at-home moms, and I'm like, you guys are just like kind of flowing through the day. And that's totally fine if you're not trying to get anything actually done and you're just like, oh, I'll just get to it when I get to it and we'll sleep whenever, do whatever. That's not going to work if you want to work from home and you want to be able to be home with your kids. You have to set up a schedule. And the great news is, before you get your first client, you can start to do it now. The schedule that I recommend to help you guys stay organized can be fluid. It can still feel very relaxed and really like sweet. And it can also incorporate and be flexible for when they do need to be homesick, or when somebody is throwing up and they are calling you from the nurse's office. Same thing as homesick, but you get the idea. Or if it's a school break, like you can still kind of tweak things a bit here and there. But as long as you have like some consistency, for the most part, a bit of a routine, it's gonna make things so much easier for you, because then you know when you can get work done and your business owner knows when you can get work done. You know when you're available and they know when you're available. You know how many hours per week you can dedicate to a virtual job from home, and they know how many hours a week they can expect from you. It's a match made in heaven. Here is an example of what's really worked well for me and my kiddo and me and my family, and it works well for a lot of our students. First, I have woken up early before my kids get up. Not always possible for the phase of life that you're in. So please hear me. If your kids are still getting up a whole bunch at night, like this may not be the season for you. But if they're pretty much sleeping through the night, what works for a lot of us moms is we get, especially single moms, is we just get up really early. I know some people who do like 4 a.m. I'm not a morning person and I can afford childcare now, but when I couldn't, I definitely did used to do that. I used to get up at 5 a.m. and I would usually be able to get in an hour and a half of work before anybody was even up. Number 2 top tip is, after that, I would take them outside. I'm a huge advocate for outdoor time. You'll know that if you follow me on Instagram. I get my kiddo outside every day and he's in an outdoor based based play school. So it's a big deal for me for lots of different reasons. But the main reason is that it really helps to wear them out. It helps them to get a whole bunch of gross motor stuff done and out of the way. So then the rest of your day is going to be a lot more chill. So if you can get them outside in the morning, no matter the weather, I'm telling you, if it's raining, you put on rain gear and you get out. I'm telling you, if it's cold, you get the right clothes so that you can get outside. And this could look a lot of different ways, but get them outside for 2, maybe even 3 or 4 hours, but minimum 2 hours is what I like to do. And I've done this with all ages, so you can do it with all ages too. This is key. This is an important part. There's a reason I'm taking a second on it, because now you're gonna get to come home, you're gonna feed everybody, and then everyone's gonna take a nap. And even you're like, my child's 4, they're not gonna nap. They're still gonna have quiet time in their room for an hour and a half, mama. They need it, and so do you. Now, I would say, now you can use the nap time to get a bunch of work done. And in theory, yes, you can. But there's a little bit more to this, because you're also like, but when am I gonna clean the house? When am I gonna shower? When am I gonna take a nap myself? I got you. I like to take part of my child's nap time. He does a 2-hour either quiet time or a nap, depending on how he's feeling that day. First part, I will take for myself. I take a nap every single day. If I haven't showered yet that day, I will shower. If I haven't gotten to sit down and eat, I will eat. Second half, but honestly, I can take a nap in like 30 minutes and then like 20 minutes to get ready. So still plenty of time. Second part, I will use to work. I also have gotten really good at prioritizing what work needs to get done during focused time and during time when I have my kids around. So you can kind of categorize your work into 2 categories. After they wake up from nap, you can do some more play together and some more focused time with them. It's kind of like you're trying to fill up their well of love so then they can go and do their own thing. And then honestly, if you've done enough outside time, they're usually pretty chill in the afternoon. That's why this is like a hot tip, okay? But sometimes I still won't work then. I'll still go, we might go and run errands. We may play outside. Maybe the morning weather was bad, but now it's nice out, so we'll kind of flip-flop the day. Maybe we gotta go pick up kids from school. So the afternoon's kind of flex time, but often I'm able to still sneak some work in. And Luther's now 2.5, and that's been true for the most part his whole childhood. And same with my oldest. Some days I will even allow, I'm a very anti-TV and tech mom as well. I know, aren't you just liking me more and more? Or not, you're like, I don't like this chick. It's like always one or the other. I don't do any TV as well or tech time as well. But if there's a couple of days a week where that's when you want to have your TV time, my child really struggles to wake up. So sometimes it'll be nice for him to have like an hour of TV time when he's first waking up. Guess what? Since you don't let them watch TV or tech hardly ever, they're going to be super duper focused on it, and they're just going to chill and vibe for like an hour, and you can get a whole bunch of stuff done then too. Do you see how I've already found you a couple of hours in your day and you haven't really had to take time away from your kids? Very little. The other thing that I highly recommend is coordinating with your partner or a family member to get you a couple of hours, either some evenings or every single evening, where they take over the kids so that you can get some work done. All of this being said, I know you're probably like, but who's going to do the dishes? Who's going to clean the floors? When am I supposed to get any of this done? This is why it's really important to have buy-in from your partner and the right support systems. I have a cleaning lady who comes twice a month. I have a nanny who picks up my son from preschool a couple days a week and then does some tidying and stuff around the house, because otherwise that stuff would never get done. My son goes to visitation twice a month, and I use that time to catch up on tidying and cleaning as well. So you have to figure out what that's going to look like for you, but I don't have a partner. So I don't have someone to be like, hey, can we tag team on some of this stuff? Because I'm trying to do this new business venture. I'm trying to be a virtual assistant. I have my first client. I'm trying to take this course. Can you help me with these things so that our family and things can still run? That's a conversation you're going to have if you're taking this seriously. All right, now here are some sneaky places that you can get childcare. But before I get into that, I want you to know that I go way more into how to be a virtual assistant, how to work around your own schedule, whether it's for your kids or maybe it's for a dog or someone you're caregiving for, whatever your reasons are for wanting to have a flexible work from home job or work from anywhere job. You can check out my free class at 90dayva.com. I update it all the time. We always have new and most up-to-date content on what's going on in the VA world, and I'd love to see you there. Now, here are your 6 sneaky childcare options. Number 1, people don't realize your gym, YMCAs, but I also belong to a local one. They often have up to 2, sometimes more hours of childcare included in your membership every single day. It's wild. This is a great option for you. Go there, do a little walk, get a little workout in. You can work from your phone for like half an hour and then spend the other hour and a half just working, and let your children enjoy playing with other kids and some other toys. They'll be very happy. I know that you can do this every day because like I know my kiddo would get bored with the toys, but you can do it for the most part pretty often. Indoor play spaces. Do not follow your child child around, let them go and live their best life. You can just at a park or a creek too, but indoor play spaces are great for when the weather's not so great or if you're just feeling tired and not really up for a hike. They even have ones that have table and chairs and stuff so parents can hang out. Don't be the parent scrolling on the phone. Be the one with her laptop making money. Utilize your relatives and your family and support network. Ask them, say, on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 until noon, can you watch my kids for me so that I can do this thing? They're going to be so excited. So have that consistency, that communication, whatever that's going to look like for you guys. But grandparents, aunties and uncles, cousins, siblings, people love to be with your children. So use those resources that are available to you. So just like indoor play spaces, same thing for if your kid is in a baseball team. My little one was in gymnastics for a while. Usually an unsupervised, like where you don't have to be involved, doesn't start until age 3. So this may not be until they're a little bit older. But that's a great time to get some work done too. And you're not the ones who are just scrolling endlessly. You are the mama who is making the big bucks, or the dad. I also mentioned TV, but if you really limit TV to like 4 days a week for 1 hour each day, your kids are going to be far more engaged with it. They're just going to sit and watch it. I try to get like a chill show that's educational, and he probably watches anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a week, and it's very, very strategic. And that's not a judgment on you if you let your kids watch more TV. I'm just telling you that if you want to get you're going to be more productive. It's wild. And also for my single parents out there, visitation. So I swap my days off so that I have my days off during the times when my son is with me. And then when they're with their other parent, he just goes every other weekend. But I will work on those weekends instead. And then I will take days off during the week on those weeks. So look at the time that you don't get to have with your kids as your work time. You just get to do your other job, or you get to do your side hustle, or you get to do whatever job that you're doing, and not as this like horrible, heartbreaking time that you don't get to do with your child. Although those feelings will still come. You can focus it more on like, oh, it's my day to work. I get to have free childcare today. In my next video, I'm going to be going over the top skills that VAs are being hired for in 2024 that AI will not be replacing. So if you're curious how to get started as a virtual assistant and what kinds of things you would even want to do, check out my next video.